From ancient underwater cities to massive stone temples, these structures challenge our understanding of history. Today, we're uncovering the mysteries behind 10 ancient sites that still baffle experts. Let's dive right in. Off the coast of Pohnpei in Micronesia, the ruins of Nan Madol rise from the Pacific Ocean like a scene from an ancient myth. Known as the Venice of the Pacific, Nan Madol is the only known ancient city built entirely on top of a coral reef. Its 100 artificial islands are connected by an intricate network of canals, creating a city that is both mysterious and visually stunning. Built between the 12th and 13th centuries, this city was a feat of architectural engineering that continues to amaze modern scientists. But why was this city built on water, far from the main island of Pohnpei? One theory suggests that it served as a sacred ceremonial center, while others argue it was the political hub of the ancient Saudelur dynasty. Despite its grandeur, very little is known about Nan Madol's builders. How did they transport stones weighing up to 50 tons across the open ocean? This question remains unanswered. The basalt columns used to build Nan Madol's walls were cut with precision, and these walls tower as high as 49 feet in some places. The effort required to move these massive stones, some weighing as much as 50 tons, would have been monumental, yet no one knows how it was done. Was this an isolated achievement, or did they possess knowledge lost to time? Additionally, why build a city isolated on the sea instead of on land, with easier access to resources? Even more fascinating is the city's organization. The canals acted as natural moats, protecting different parts of the city and allowing the transportation of goods by water. Some researchers believe Nan Madol was divided into zones for specific purposes: religious, administrative, and residential. What rituals might have taken place here? How did the city sustain itself with limited space for agriculture? These are questions archaeologists are still trying to answer. Over time, the city fell into ruin and was abandoned. The exact cause remains a mystery. Was it due to environmental changes, political upheaval, disease? No one knows for sure. Today, Nan Madol remains largely unexplored, with much of its history still submerged beneath the Pacific waters. On the tiny island of Gozo, in the Maltese archipelago, stands the megalithic temple complex of Gantia, a monument so ancient and imposing that local legends say it was built by giants. Constructed between 3600 and 2500 BC, these massive stone temples are among the oldest religious structures in the world, predating the Great Pyramids of Egypt by over 1,000 years. Gigantija, which translates to Giant's Tower, is a fitting name given the colossal size of the stones used in its construction, some of which weigh over 50 tons. The complex consists of 2 temples surrounded by a large boundary wall. The temples are unique not only for their size, but also for their architectural sophistication. Despite the fact that the builders had no access to metal tools or the wheel, they managed to transport these gigantic stones from distant quarries, placing them with remarkable precision. The mystery of how they did this has puzzled archaeologists for centuries. Some speculate that the builders used a series of spherical stones as rudimentary ball bearings to roll the massive blocks into place. The temples themselves are thought to have been dedicated to fertility rituals, a theory supported by the numerous figurines and artifacts associated with fertility cults that have been found at the site. These artifacts depict large, rounded female figures, suggesting that the Gantija temples were centers of worship for a goddess of fertility. This religious focus aligns with the structure's design, which includes altars, curved apses, and large open courtyards, perfect settings for communal gatherings and rituals. Another fascinating aspect of Gigantija is its alignment with celestial events. Like many ancient megalithic structures, the temples were carefully positioned to mark the solstices, allowing the builders to track the movements of the sun. This astronomical precision indicates a deep understanding of the cosmos, an impressive feat for a society that existed over 5,000 years ago. But how did these early people develop such advanced knowledge of astronomy and engineering? The construction methods and purpose of Gantia remain shrouded in mystery. Some researchers propose that the site was not only a religious center, but also a political one, where the island's elite gathered to demonstrate their power and control. Others suggest that Gigantija may have served as a pilgrimage site for people from across the Mediterranean. What we do know is that this incredible structure, built in an era of primitive tools, stands as a testament to the ingenuity and determination of Malta's ancient inhabitants. At the top of a ridge in southeastern Turkey lies one of the most groundbreaking archaeological discoveries of the 20th century, Göbekli Tepe, the world's oldest known temple complex. Dating back an astonishing 11,000 years, Göbekli Tepe was built long before the advent of agriculture, cities, or written language, challenging everything we thought we knew about early human society. This man-made hill, spanning 300 meters, 980 feet in diameter and 15 meters, 49 feet in height, has rewritten the history books, as it predates Stonehenge by 6,000 years and showcases an advanced culture far earlier than previously believed possible. Göbekli Tepe consists of a series of circular stone enclosures, each built with massive T-shaped limestone pillars that weigh up to 10 tons and stand over 6 meters, 20 feet tall. These pillars are adorned with intricate carvings of animals, including lions, boars, snakes, and birds, as well as abstract symbols. The level of craftsmanship is astonishing, especially considering that the site was built by hunter-gatherers who lacked metal tools or the wheel. The sheer size and scale of Göbekli Tepe suggests that it was a significant religious or ceremonial center, where early humans gathered for communal worship or rituals. The site was first discovered in the 1960s, but it wasn't until the 1990s that a full-scale excavation led by German archaeologist Klaus Schmidt revealed its true importance. One of the most remarkable aspects of Göbekli Tepe is that it was built by people who were still living a nomadic hunter-gatherer lifestyle. Conventional thinking had long suggested that large, complex structures like temples and cities only came about after humans settled down into agricultural communities. Göbekli Tepe turns that idea on its head, showing that organized religion may have played a key role in bringing people together, leading to the development of agriculture and, eventually, civilization. But Göbekli Tepe holds even more mysteries. For reasons unknown, the site was deliberately buried around 8000 BC after being used for over 1,000 years. The intentional backfilling of the enclosures has left archaeologists puzzled. Why would such a monumental site be abandoned and covered over by its own builders? Was it a symbolic act, or was it meant to preserve the site for future generations? As only a small portion of Göbekli Tepe has been excavated, many more secrets are likely buried beneath the soil. What has been uncovered so far has already revolutionized our understanding of early human society, and further exploration could reveal even more about the religious and social practices of our distant ancestors. Göbekli Tepe is not just an archaeological site. It is a window into the very origins of human belief, community, and civilization itself. Beneath the bustling streets of Malta lies a hidden world, an ancient subterranean necropolis known as the Hypogeum of Valsaflieni. Discovered by accident in 1902 during construction work, this underground temple and burial complex dates back to around 3300 BC. Making it one of the most fascinating archaeological sites in the world. The Hypogeum consists of 3 levels of chambers, all carved directly into the limestone bedrock, forming a complex labyrinth that has baffled researchers for over a century. The upper level of the Hypogeum likely served as a sanctuary for the living, a place of worship where religious ceremonies were conducted. The middle and lower levels, however, were used for burials. Over 7,000 human skeletons have been found in these chambers, indicating that the Hypogeum was not only a place of worship, but also an important burial site. The sheer number of remains suggests that the site was used for generations, possibly for members of an elite class or for those who held special religious significance. One of the most remarkable features of the Hypogeum is its acoustics. Certain chambers, particularly the so-called oracle room, have been found to amplify sound in a way that has led some researchers to believe the Hypogeum was used for mystical or spiritual purposes. The resonance of voices in these chambers is so profound that it can create vibrations felt throughout the complex, leading some to speculate that the builders had a sophisticated understanding of sound and its effects on the human body and mind. Adding to the mystery is the intricate architecture of the Hypogeum. The walls and ceilings are adorned with red ochre paintings, featuring spirals and other geometric patterns that seem to hold symbolic meaning. The chambers themselves are beautifully carved, with some resembling the above-ground temples found elsewhere in Malta, suggesting a connection between the living and the dead. The precision with which the chambers were constructed, combined with their artistic decoration, has led some to question how such an advanced structure could have been built over 5,000 years ago. Despite decades of study, much about the hypogym remains unknown. Who were the people buried here, and why did they choose to be interred in such an elaborate underground complex? What rituals took place within its chambers? And how did the builders, with only rudimentary tools, manage to carve such an intricate and expansive network of chambers deep into solid limestone? The hypogeum's construction techniques, purpose, and significance continue to puzzle archaeologists. Was this site a sacred portal to the afterlife, or did it serve as a place of mystical gatherings? These questions remain unanswered, making the hypogeum of Al Saflieni one of the most intriguing and enigmatic ancient structures ever discovered. Nestled in the Boyne Valley of Ireland, Newgrange is one of the most extraordinary prehistoric monuments in Europe. This massive passage tomb, built around 3200 BC, is older than both Stonehenge and the Great Pyramids of Giza, and its advanced design has left archaeologists and historians puzzled for decades. The structure is part of a larger complex known as Brú na Bóinne, which also includes the nearby mounds of Noath and Douth, together forming a significant ceremonial landscape from the Neolithic period. Newgrange is a circular mound stretching 85 meters, 279 feet in diameter, and 13.5 meters, 44 feet high, covering an acre of land. The mound is surrounded by 97 large curbstones, some of which are intricately carved with spirals, lozenges, and other geometric patterns that reflect the artistic skill of its builders. A 19-meter-long, 62 feet, passage leads from the entrance to the central chamber, which contains 3 recessed alcoves and a large basin stone, likely used in burial or ritual practices. But what truly sets Newgrange apart from other prehistoric tombs is its astronomical alignment. The entrance to Newgrange is perfectly aligned with the rising sun during the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year. At dawn, sunlight streams through a small opening above the doorway, known as the roof box, and illuminates the passage and central chamber for a brief period. This alignment is so precise that it only occurs for a few minutes around the solstice, making it clear that the builders of Newgrange had a sophisticated understanding of astronomy. The phenomenon has fascinated researchers and visitors alike, raising questions about the purpose of the tomb. Was it simply a burial site, or did it serve as an ancient observatory or a place for religious ceremonies tied to the cycles of the sun? The significance of the winter solstice to the people who built Newgrange is still debated, but many scholars believe it symbolized the rebirth of the sun and the cycle of life and death. The careful alignment with the solstice suggests that the site played a key role in the spiritual and ceremonial life of its builders. The discovery of human remains within the tomb, along with grave goods such as beads and pottery, points to Newgrange's function as a burial site for the elite. However, its monumental scale and the complexity of its design suggest that it was more than just a tomb. It was likely a focal point for religious or social gatherings. Despite being over 5,000 years old, Newgrange continues to captivate modern visitors with its blend of architectural brilliance and spiritual significance. Each year, thousands of people apply for the chance to witness the solstice sunrise inside the chamber, though only a select few are chosen by lottery. For many, standing in this ancient space, bathed in the light of the solstice sun, offers a profound connection to the people who built Newgrange and their understanding of the cosmos. Deep beneath the plains of Cappadocia, Turkey, lies one of the most remarkable ancient engineering feats ever discovered, the underground city of Derinkuyu. Spanning 18 stories deep and capable of housing up to 20,000 people, Derinkuyu is an underground labyrinth of tunnels, homes, storage rooms, kitchens, and even churches. Unlike simple caves, this is a fully functional city designed to withstand threats from the surface. Derinkuyu's depth and complexity are astounding. The city's ventilation system is sophisticated, using more than 50 ventilation shafts to circulate fresh air throughout its many levels. Its design suggests the city wasn't just meant for short-term refuge. It could support a large population for extended periods of time. Some believe that Derinkuyu was used as a safe haven during times of war or invasion, though its true purpose remains debated. Who built this underground city, and why? Some archaeologists attribute its creation to the Phrygians in the 8th century BC, while others argue that it could be even older. The early Christians of the Byzantine period were known to use the city to escape persecution, but whether they were the original builders is uncertain. More recent theories suggest that Derinkuyu may have been constructed to protect its inhabitants from natural disasters, such as volcanic eruptions or earthquakes, which are common in the region. One of the most intriguing aspects of Derinkuyu is its strategic layout. Large stone doors could be rolled across passageways to seal off sections of the city in case of an attack, while hidden escape tunnels allowed residents to flee unnoticed. Each floor had its own wells, ensuring a fresh water supply even if the city was under siege. The city's storage rooms, wine presses, and livestock pens suggest that it was designed to support long-term habitation, not just temporary refuge. The level of planning required to build such a city is astonishing. No modern machinery or tools were used to carve out this vast subterranean network, which plunges up to 60 meters, 200 feet below ground. Derinkuyu's builders skillfully engineered a system that protected against both invaders and the harsh environment above. Derinkuyu was rediscovered in 1963 when a man accidentally knocked down a wall in his home, revealing a passageway to the ancient city below. Since then, only a portion of the underground metropolis has been excavated, leaving much of it unexplored. What else lies hidden in these dark, winding tunnels? The answers may still be buried far beneath the surface, waiting to be uncovered. High in the Andes Mountains of Bolivia, part of the ancient Tiwanaku civilization, lies Puma Punku, a site that has left researchers scratching their heads for decades. Its massive stone blocks, some weighing over 100 tons, were not only cut with incredible precision, but also transported across vast distances without the benefit of modern machinery. What adds to the mystery is the absence of tool marks on these stones. Despite the rough and rugged highland terrain, no one knows how the builders transported and shaped these stones so accurately. The blocks of Puma Punku interlock in ways that suggest a deep understanding of geometry and architecture. The precision of these interlocking stones is mind-boggling. Some are carved at perfect right angles, and others feature drilled holes that modern engineers find difficult to replicate, even with advanced tools. How was this done over 1,000 years ago without metal tools? Some researchers speculate that the builders may have used techniques or technologies that have been lost over time, sparking theories about advanced civilizations or even extraterrestrial intervention. But Puma Punku is more than just a marvel of stonework. It also carries an aura of astronomical significance. Some archaeologists believe the site was a key religious or ceremonial center that aligned with the solstices and other celestial events. On certain dates, the sun rises in direct alignment with the structures, indicating that the builders had a sophisticated knowledge of astronomy. However, there are even wilder theories that suggest Puma Punku was a gateway to the stars, built by a civilization with knowledge far beyond what we assume of ancient peoples. Even the age of Puma Punku is hotly debated. Some scholars suggest it was constructed around 500 AD as part of the Tiwanaku civilization. Others, however, propose a much earlier date, claiming the site could be over 10,000 years old. This estimate is based on astronomical alignments and geological surveys that push the timeline back to a period when humans were still primarily hunter-gatherers. Could Puma Punku be evidence of a lost civilization far older than we currently acknowledge? Although much of Puma Punku remains unexplained, the questions it raises about our ancestors' capabilities and knowledge are profound. Was it the Tiwanaku people who built it, or an even earlier civilization? Were the structures designed for religious purposes, or was Puma Punku something far more advanced than we realize? As excavations continue, researchers hope that the secrets of Puma Punku will eventually be unearthed, providing answers to one of the Andes' greatest mysteries. Located on the Orkney Islands off the northern coast of Scotland, Skara Brae is one of the best-preserved Neolithic villages in all of Europe. Often referred to as a time capsule, This site provides an extraordinary glimpse into life over 5,000 years ago, when the Stone Age was in full swing. The site was uncovered by a storm in 1850, which stripped away the earth covering the village, revealing a network of stone houses that had remained hidden beneath sand and dirt for millennia. Skara Brae consists of 8 clustered stone houses, remarkably intact, and is thought to have been inhabited between 3180 BC and 2500 BC. The village is older than Stonehenge and even the Great Pyramids of Giza, making it a crucial site for understanding early human settlement. What makes Skara Brae especially significant is how much of the original layout and furnishings have survived. Inside these homes, archaeologists found stone-built furniture, including beds, dressers, and storage boxes, providing a window into the daily lives of its residents. The houses at Skara Brae are quite sophisticated for their time. Built into mounds of midden, which is a mixture of domestic waste and sand, the dwellings were insulated against the harsh winds of the Orkney Islands. Each house features a large central hearth for cooking and heating, with stone shelves and storage areas. What's even more surprising is that Skara Brae had an early form of plumbing. Each house was connected to a drainage system, and some even had indoor toilets, a level of convenience not often associated with Neolithic times. The village was likely inhabited by a community of settled farmers who cultivated crops and raised livestock. The discovery of various tools made from bone and stone, as well as artifacts such as pottery, jewelry, and carved stones, suggests that the people of Skara Brae were not only practical but also had an artistic side. However, what remains a mystery is why the settlement was abandoned around 2500 BC. Some theories point to a shift in climate, which may have made life in this northern environment too harsh to continue. Adding to the intrigue, there are no signs of conflict or invasion, and the settlement appears to have been abandoned gradually. What caused the residents to leave their carefully constructed homes and disappear remains an unanswered question. Perhaps a change in climate led to declining agricultural productivity, or new opportunities arose elsewhere that drew people away. Today, Skara Brae stands as one of the most complete Neolithic villages in the world. The site provides a unique and incredibly detailed picture of prehistoric life, making it an invaluable resource for archaeologists and historians alike. As you wander through the ancient stone houses, it's hard not to wonder what stories have been lost to time, hidden beneath the sand and wind of the Orkneys. Rising from the rolling hills of Salisbury Plain in southern England, Stonehenge is one of the most iconic and enigmatic monuments in the world. Constructed between 3000 BC and 2000 BC, this prehistoric stone circle has puzzled historians, archaeologists, and visitors alike for centuries. Made of massive stones, some weighing up to 25 tons, and transported from quarries over 150 miles away in Wales, the creation of Stonehenge is a feat of engineering that defies explanation. How could ancient builders, without advanced technology, move these colossal stones and place them with such precision? Many theories have been proposed regarding the purpose of Stonehenge. Some believe it was an astronomical observatory, carefully aligned to track the movements of the sun and moon. On the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, the sun rises directly in line with the heel stone, casting a shadow that stretches into the center of the circle. This alignment suggests that the builders had a deep understanding of celestial events, using the monument to mark important dates on the calendar. Other scholars suggest that Stonehenge was a burial ground. Archaeologists have uncovered numerous human remains in and around the site, some of which date back to the earliest phases of its construction. The monument may have been used as a ceremonial site for honoring the dead, with burials continuing for several centuries. But why was such an elaborate structure dedicated to the dead? Was Stonehenge a place where the living could communicate with their ancestors, or was it intended as a gateway to the afterlife? Stonehenge's construction spans several centuries, and it's likely that different groups of people used the site for different purposes over time. Some theories propose that it was a center for healing, drawing people from distant lands who sought the stone's mystical powers. Others believe it served as a meeting place for the region's elite, where social and political gatherings were held. Despite extensive research, no single theory has been definitively proven, and the true purpose of Stonehenge remains one of history's greatest mysteries. Adding to the enigma is the method by which the stones were transported. The blue stones, which form part of the inner circle, come from the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 150 miles away. How these massive stones were moved across such a great distance without the use of the wheel or advanced tools is a question that continues to baffle experts. Some suggest that they were transported by water, floated on rafts down rivers, while others propose the use of sledges and rollers. But even with these methods, the task would have been monumental. Stonehenge stands as a timeless monument, a mystery carved in stone that has withstood the test of time. It continues to attract visitors and researchers alike, all eager to unlock its secrets. But as much as we uncover about this ancient site, the more it seems to resist explanation, leaving us to wonder about the motivations and capabilities of the people who built it. Nestled in central Mexico, Teotihuacan was once the largest city in the Western Hemisphere, boasting an estimated population of 200,000 at its peak. Built long before the arrival of the Aztecs, this mysterious city covers around 20 square kilometers, 8 square miles, and is dominated by awe-inspiring pyramids, including the Pyramid of the Sun, the Pyramid of the Moon, and the Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent. Despite its impressive architecture and scale, we know surprisingly little about the civilization that constructed it. Teotihuacan's builders left behind no written records, making the city's origins a mystery. The name Teotihuacan, meaning the place where the gods were created, was given by the Aztecs, who found the city in ruins. The city thrived between 100 BC and 550 AD, and its inhabitants built sophisticated roads, multi-story apartment complexes, and elaborate temples. But who were these people? And why did they abandon the city so suddenly around 550 AD? One of the most enigmatic aspects of Teotihuacan is the apparent use of human sacrifice. Archaeologists have discovered mass graves at the Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent, where over 100 skeletons were found, many of whom were bound and adorned with jewelry. These findings suggest that sacrifice may have played a central role in the city's religious life, but its exact purpose remains a topic of debate. The city's design also reflects a deep understanding of astronomy. The pyramids are aligned with celestial bodies, particularly the sun and the moon, leading many researchers to believe Teotihuacan served as a ceremonial center. During solstices, the sun rises over the Pyramid of the Sun in a way that suggests careful astronomical planning. Was this a city of religious pilgrimage, or did it serve another, more political role? In addition to its religious significance, Teotihuacan was a major trade hub. Its influence extended far beyond its borders, with evidence of trade networks reaching as far as present-day Guatemala and the southern United States. Exotic goods like obsidian, ceramics, and luxury items were found here, but the city's collapse remains one of history's great puzzles. Did an internal conflict tear the city apart, or was it a result of environmental catastrophe? Teotihuacan's abandonment left its temples and avenues eerily silent. Some speculate that famine or drought caused the collapse, while others point to possible uprisings. Whatever the cause, Teotihuacan's grandeur remains, and its ruins continue to attract researchers and tourists alike. Despite decades of excavation, more than 70% of the site remains unexplored, leaving much of its history shrouded in mystery. What did you think of these sites? Have you been to any of them? Please share your thoughts in the comments and be sure to subscribe before you leave. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.